Once upon a time, in a small village nestled gently beside a shimmering silver river, there lived a young man named Ananda. Ever since childhood, Ananda had always felt that he was nothing special. The constant criticism from others, whether about his slow learning or his clumsy farming, pierced his self-confidence like tiny needles. One day, seeing his talented friend being celebrated by the villagers for inventing a new watermill, Ananda felt smaller and more worthless than ever. A haunting question began to torment him. Does my life have any value at all? Unable to bear his doubts any longer, Ananda decided to leave the village, carrying only an old cloth bag and a faint glimmer of hope. He had heard about a wise master living on a distant mountain, renowned for helping lost souls find meaning in life. Filled with determination, Ananda began his journey to find answers. After days of trekking through dense forests and crossing shallow streams, Ananda finally reached a small temple tucked beneath ancient trees atop the mountain. Beneath the cool shade, the wise master sat in meditation, his gentle face radiating peace amid the silence. Ananda approached respectfully, knelt down and poured out all his sadness and self-doubt that had weighed heavily on his heart for so long. The master listened quietly, his deep eyes seeming to see through Ananda's very soul. When Ananda finished speaking, the master smiled softly and reached into his sleeve, pulling out an old tarnished ring. On the ring was a modest gemstone whose appearance wasn't particularly striking. The master placed the ring into Ananda's palm, speaking in a calm, warm voice. Take this ring to the marketplace at the foot of the mountain. Ask the people there how much they think it's worth. But remember, no matter how high a price anyone offers, you must not sell it. Though slightly confused, Ananda obeyed. He took the ring and descended the mountain to the bustling market below. The first person he encountered was an elderly fruit seller. Squinting at the ring, she dismissed it with a wave of her hand. This old ring? It's worthless. At most, I'll trade you a few sweet apples. Ananda quietly walked away, a hint of disappointment in his heart. Next, he approached a renowned local potter. The potter examined the ring carefully, turning it around before shrugging. It looks pretty ordinary to me. If you like, I can trade you a brand new set of pottery. That's all it's worth. Undeterred, Ananda then visited a well-known silversmith. The silversmith's eyes lit up upon seeing the ring. After inspecting it closely, he excitedly said, "This ring is special. I'll buy it from you for 100 gold coins." Surprised but remembering the master's words, Ananda refused. The silversmith insisted, increasing the offer to 200 gold coins, but Ananda still firmly declined. Finally, Ananda decided to visit a wealthy merchant, famous for his knowledge of gemstones. When the merchant saw the ring, his face turned pale, and his hands began to tremble. He quickly spread out a precious red silk cloth, gently placed the ring upon it, and respectfully bowed his head, whispering, "This is an ancient legendary treasure I've only heard about. Its value far surpasses everything I own. Even if I sold all my possessions, I wouldn't dare to price it." Ananda was stunned. It was the same ring, yet each person saw it so differently. His heart was in turmoil, but within him stirred the first rays of understanding. Carrying his newfound insights, Ananda returned to the temple on the mountain and recounted his experiences to the master. He asked softly, "Master, I don't understand. Why did each person value the same ring so differently? What is the true meaning behind this?" The master smiled kindly, his eyes full of wisdom. "My dear Ananda, this ring is like our own lives. The same object, the same person. Yet its worth varies depending on who perceives it. Some see only its ordinary surface, while others recognize the deep beauty within. Likewise, if you entrust your worth to those who fail to see your true value, you will always feel insignificant. But if you learn to cherish yourself and find the right place to shine, your true worth will inevitably be recognized." Gently placing his hand on Ananda's shoulder, the master concluded in a gentle yet profound voice, "Never let others define your worth. Decide your value yourself. When you truly know who you are, you'll live confidently and peacefully." Hearing these words, Ananda felt a great burden lifted from his heart. He bowed deeply to the master, then returned to his village with a new heart, a heart no longer doubting its own worth. This story reminds us that a person's true value lies not in others' opinions, but in how they see and appreciate themselves. Confidently define your own worth instead of letting others decide it for you. Your value is not determined by others' words, but by how you perceive yourself.